Seems as though the Xbox showcase gets another chink in its armor. Now, surprisingly, it's coming from Digital Foundry. Yes, the same Digital Foundry who gave the showcase rave reviews. That said, they're making some distinct differences between showing and offering as it relates to this showcase. See, Digital Foundry's concerns are how certain games were shown versus the actual end product will land. These concerns are around PC footage and the use of the term in-game engine to fool viewers. Now, why does Xbox continue to struggle with this when its peers, according to Digital Foundry, got this all in check? Well, we tackle all this on the next installment of The Spill, our gaming hot topic video series, and it starts now. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of GEIX, Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, and MM2K Gaming back again with another episode of The Spill. This is where we talk about the latest and greatest in video game news, the hot topic item of the day, and I ran about it. But before we get into this video, do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications, please. All right. So let's first deal with the claim. Claim is that the Xbox showcase, you know, the one that got a whole bunch of critical acclaim from various outlets, and people were saying it's the best showcase ever. It's the best Xbox showcase ever. Everybody that was saying all that trash. No. To be fair, the showcase was good. And to be doubly fair, it was the best showcase of the summer showcases. The summer showcase was trash. It was Xbox and then Nintendo that I feel like had okay showcases. I don't even throw Ubisoft in there. They're showcasing, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sorry. But Xbox was a standout showcase. I'll give that to them. And I won't even argue with anybody that says, hey, this was Xbox's best showcase this generation. You definitely don't get any from me for saying that. But B, if you say that this is the best showcase in general this generation, you're not going to get any arguments out of me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to nitpick there. We just haven't had great showcases this generation. So I think all that is fair to assume or argue or whatever. You're not going to get any debate from me on that. What I will not accept is that this is of the best showcases ever, or this is even Xbox's best showcase. This is where you guys are in your fields. You react emotionally, and you always react in the moment. And you never look at things from 5,000 feet. You always put your foot in your mouth. Like everybody's going crazy over these showcases right now. They're showcases, which are integral. They play a huge part in the fanfare of keeping you engaged. But at the end of the day, we don't play these showcases. We play the actual games. And time again, Xbox has had the best showcase. Like even Digital Foundry, even though they praised this one, they've been here before. They praised the last one. They said the last one was the best one. And this time around, they're like, fool me once, shame on you. But they're looking again this time. They're like, hold on, you're showing us a good showcase. But how is this stuff going to land, right? You know, again, they said it was, Digital Foundry said it was the best showcase of the generation out of anybody. And I'm not going to argue with them on it. However, they feel the showcase has core problems with the expectation set because of how the games were shown. And they break it down into two parts. Part number one is the reliance on the term in engine. And then secondly, and maybe the most important one that they focused on the most, was not fully disclosing PC footage. All right. So if you're wondering where this came from, I'll leave a link if you're watching the video portion. We're also going to do a podcast on it. So if you're not actually watching that podcast right now, I will tell you how you can get access to it. But, you know, give me a moment here to babble. But yeah, there's actually a Digital Foundry clips, and hopefully they didn't remove it because for some reason the main video it was associated to was removed. I don't know if it's because the video is part of the Patreon first or whatever. I don't know. With that said, if the video's still up, they got a snippet video on their clips channel where they're talking about the misleading parts of the showcase, even though they gave it critical acclaim. First thing, let's tackle the smaller thing. In-engine is too misleading as they feel. It's not gameplay. I mean, we've seen Xbox wood buffers all over Twitter. If it's an engine, it's the actual game elements. No. Digital Foundry is telling you no. They said pretty much anything. I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much anything can be made in engine. That is not, in engine is not gameplay, right? And it doesn't necessarily symbolize the gameplay. We saw that with, now again, they say that PlayStation is better with this stuff, but we saw that with Concord. Concord had shown us a cinematic, what's it called? In engine, right? And then they showed us the gameplay that looked fundamentally different, okay? PlayStation just showed us that, all right? So there's that. We got to understand that when we see an engine, we may see some semblances of what you may get in gameplay, but it doesn't represent 1v1 gameplay. Okay? Next. And the most important thing out of all this, and that is, where is this footage being shown from? There was a question posed to Digital Foundry, and someone said, look, in their opinion, everything looked great, but they could tell that everything was not being run from the X, the Series X, or even definitely not the Series X. And they asked Digital Foundry if they thought this was misleading. And they replied, yes, they thought it was misleading. Now, they're saying that Xbox is incrementally trying to get more transparent, but they're not where they need to be. And they said they're fooling people by secretly showing stuff on PC, like that's the way it's going to play on console. You guys saw that with Hellblade, right? Where you were shown stuff in showcases. Where was that? 60 frames per second, I believe it was. And with fidelity that, even though it still may have looked good on the consoles, it was nowhere near what it was shown. And considering that the bulk of Xbox's core is on consoles, that's not good, right? They did admit that Perfect Dark could be a more realistic representation, because as they were looking at the compressed footage, even though they, because it's compressed, they couldn't really tell what was what, as far as pixels and stuff like that. But they said, looking at the compressed footage, that, the dips in the resolution, the dips in performance were more of a semblance of what was going on console. They also said it could be just because the game is on its early stage, and it could have been a vertical slice from PC, but they don't know. Because look, fact of the matter is, as far as I'm concerned, it is being built on UE5, and we know at this stage of the game, anything built on UE5 is going to be heavily taxing, to use Digital Foundry's words of the past. It's going to be heavily taxing, and it is just going to create bottlenecks, and a little bit of stutters that we saw during the showcase, they could be more paramount once we get the actual game on consoles. And they also commented that, look, PlayStation and Nintendo are doing a way better job at being transparent here. They said PlayStation is, they make sure that themselves, and definitely the partners, label where the game footage is coming from, so there are no mysteries while you're watching it. Also, they said Nintendo just don't play any games. They make it where you have to show footage from Switch, or you're breaking their terms as being a partner. All right. So with all that out on the table, what are my thoughts, and what is it that we want to discuss on this podcast? Well, here's the thing. I talked about this over the weekend. If you remember, you caught that video, and thank you for your support. If you're not, you're missing out on great content, because as things just hits the brain waves, I really just, I cascade that information to you guys, and I try to elaborate on it. There is a very harmful cycle that Xbox as a company and their fans go through. And that cycle consists of bad news and inconsistent messaging rules the day for Xbox. Then out of nowhere, they have a favorable showcase. Hopes and aspirations, are at a fever pitch. And Xbox has turned it around in the eyes of many of their diehard fans. And then the actual games from said showcase land, and they underperform. And they fall flat. or are just plain bad. And one of the examples that I have of such, and is fostering like quite a comical debate online, is, let me show you. Well, you know, it's better that I show you than try to explain it. Here we go. So I put out this tweet right here because as I was creating this, it just hit my mind. When things show well but land short, and I urge people, don't shoot me, I'm just a messenger. So this is Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, which at the time of this recording, I think is barely a month old, if even that old, maybe a little bit older than a month, by a few days or a week. There's 67 in game at the time of this recording. When you go to the first one, there's 455 in game. Now, neither one of these are huge numbers, but the fact that the month-old game sees a significantly less active user base than the old game just shows you how Xbox has increased their ability to market during these showcases, to show you good-looking stuff, but when you get it substantively in your hand, it's not as great as it looks at all. The old game, which I believe is like 8 years old, has way more people in it than the game that's barely a month old. This is a game that people are trying to tell you is a cinematic masterpiece and an artful masterpiece. But wouldn't you want to experience it over and over again? I mean, there are replayability to it that give you new narrations and stuff like that in the game, right? Well, I mean, but how is that more engaging than an 8-year-old game, right? Or how is that less engaging than an 8-year-old game, right? That to me is a prime example of Xbox showing you something, because every time we've shown Hellblade, people are like, oh, this is a visual stunner. This could be game of the year, oh, right? And it didn't land that way. And we see that, and then rinse and repeat. We see that over and over again. Here's the fact of the matter. Xbox needs to release games that perform and play well on both consoles and PCs. And then they ain't got to play these games of not being transparent of where they're showing you the stuff from the showcase. If they take the same approach as PlayStation as far as giving you quality product, then they won't be ashamed. They won't be abashed to show you, to tell you, hey, this is footage from PC, or this is footage from a PlayStation. And look, here's the thing. I agree with Digital Foundry on this. If PC is your pivot, as Digital Foundry indicates in this video, that is the source of this, embrace it, because you need an identity. That's a bigger part of your problem. Okay, you're not known for bringing out quality games, but when it comes to console gamers, that's what they're looking for, and that's why you do so abysmally when it comes to consoles. If you are trying to pivot to PC and then the console is now just going to be an off branch of what you do, then you need to say so. You need to say, hey, look, this is what we're doing now. We're, you know, at the center is PC, but you know, console gamers, you are our core, and we still want to give you access to what we have that's going to flow through PC. So that's why we're creating said hardware. You better figure out a way. Now that was a rough way to say, but you better figure out a way to get that message across and get it across soon. And consistency towards great experience is what is needed to make any of this happen. No gimmicks, no lack of transparency, right? And last but certainly not least, kudos to Digital Foundry for calling this out. With that said, that's it from your boy. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because like I always say, here's what I think. But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. They'll lead you to GEIX, Cloud Dosage, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and MM2K Gaming. And again, if you're not watching the actual podcast, click the video to your left right now to get access. With that said, peace. Have a wonderful gaming day. Well, it seems as though the Xbox Showcase gets another chink in its armor. What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with your homeboy Cold Blood Sensei. We are back. It's another episode of NRO Podcast. Or no. NRO Mic Check. Golly. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you. Good to see y'all active in the chat. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But do us a huge favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when we're dropping these doses. We appreciate all of y'all straight up. Cold Blood, what's going on, good brother? You all moved in? Everything all settled for you yet?
Mostly, yeah.
Oh man, moving is not fun. Have you been able to get any gaming in on PC or anything that you got unpacked?
Oh, I played some Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
Cool. I can tell you this much. They should throw away the whole fucking story in the present. You know? Like, these fucking characters are the most boring, uninteresting characters ever, bro. They could not even give a fuck about this storyline. Just make it about the fucking assassins, bro. Forget about these motherfuckers.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well,
but in a way, I enjoyed it, and I didn't hate it completely.
Yeah, I liked Odyssey, but
just one thing, which they have to fix entirely is if you assassinate someone, you assassinate someone. Mm-hmm. That's some like you just jump on them, yeah. Yeah. And then only half their health is gone, and then you still have to fight this motherfucker. Nah, bruh. If you assassinate, you assassinate. That's it. This shit has to go.
No, I get it. Yeah, it's some of those old school Assassin's Creed elements. You guys miss them. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't care for them. I didn't need them. So that's why. And Odyssey, I can't say. I don't even know why they call it Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I argued that when I made it my game of the year that year. I was like, I don't even like Assassin's Creed games, the regular ones. But why are you guys calling this Assassin's Creed? Like this, there's nothing Assassin's Creed like here except for the connection that they try to have to that overarching story. But that's just me. But good to see everybody as always. Thank you for coming through. You know how we do, man. We got 13 people watching right now. Hopefully we'll have more as well. You guys have been majorly supportive. Last week was killer with those video and podcast numbers, man. You know what helped those out? I wonder, Cold Blood, you know what helped out our numbers? You know, when
liking the fucking video.
Oh man, can you imagine? Yeah, liking the fucking video. We have 3 likes and we got 13 people watching. We are not moving. We're not going anywhere with this show until we get to 10 likes. We're getting our 10 likes. Told you that. All right. So please hit that like button. Also, what we will do in the interim while we're waiting for you guys to get us to our illustrious 10 likes is you can see on the bottom here, we got a new graphic. I might like try to fix that to make that more aesthetically pleasing to the whole scene. But yeah, we got members goals. Now, as you can see, we've now set up members goals for those that are part of the membership squad. So Foamy Friday, where we go and play our games, the crazy game, and you guys get to laugh at me and Cold Blood, mainly me, you know, for playing games that we really don't want to play. We've taken a hiatus from that, but we're bringing it back. But we're bringing it back once we attached to our weekly goal of 10 members. So we can get 10 members. We can get a weekly goal of 10 members starting each Sunday. Then we're gonna we'll do the Foamy Friday stream, and we'll have some good laughs with that one. So that's just a measly 10 member goal. That's nothing. You get 10 members.
This week you still owe us one, bro.
Yeah, I do still owe one. And then we got a bi-weekly goal for every 2 weeks that we get 35 members, an additional 30, not we just maintain 35 members, but every 2 weeks within a 2-week period, if we get 35 members, we are going to do a $10 giveaway in the Discord. And last but certainly not least, we're going to be doing a $50 additional giveaway. Once we hit 50, okay? So let's do that. Let's do let's try to work for the weekly goal of 10, bi-weekly goal of 35, and the monthly goal of 50 for that $25 giveaway. We appreciate all your help and all your assistance and all your support and all that great, fantastic stuff. You know, there are costs associated to running some of the things behind the scenes, and the more that, you know, when you guys put in, it not only helps us get the games that you watch us play and that you enjoy us playing and talking about, but it also helps with that as well. So we really appreciate it. So thank you very much. All right, we're halfway there. We're at 5. Paul G, I know you clicked it, bro. I know you clicked it, man. We're trying to get everybody else there. You know what I'm saying? Let's go through the chat real quick. We got Dr. Killshot in the house. He says, hey, yo, at MM2K, love the content. You my new favorite YouTuber, talking sense, keeping everything 100. I appreciate that, Dr. Killshot. That's all we try to do, man. We're not trying to, we run things a little bit different. And Cold Blood can chime in on this whenever he feels like. And this is why I mean,
wait. Just to make it clear, we are no insiders. We have no insider knowledge. All we're saying is mostly speculation, but we are trying to keep it real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to that point, which is a great thing to understand when you're coming here, here's what we want you to understand. Now, if Phil Spencer, Cold Blood's favorite exec, if Phil Spencer were to call us up tomorrow and he says, hey guys, I want to come out there and I want to talk to you guys about the Xbox handheld, or I would just want to, whatever you guys got for me. If he wants to come on the show, fine. But we are not diluting or watering down our content to appease the industry, right? Like we talked about this Friday on NRO podcast, where we talked about King Thrash and his interaction with Khalif Adams. You guys know who King Thrash is. If you're not, look him up because you're missing out. Like he did a hilarious video this weekend where he was talking about, he was going at Alex. It was crazy. Like, you just got to watch the video. Anyway,
bro. No, I'm telling you, we need to study this PC game show, brother.
Yeah.
It's real population control, bro.
Yeah, like
that shit puts so many to sleep, bro.
You said people just killing over. They were just killing over watching that shit, bruh.
Yeah,
that was the worst show I've ever seen in my life, ever. And literally, I could resonate like King Thrash. I know King Thrash is a provocateur and he comes up with a lot of crazy theories at times, but it's somebody who has like high activity going on in their thought, and I can relate high activity in their thought process. So they're just randomly just spitting out different theories that are going on in their head. But when King Thrash like sits down and literally observes what's going on and deciphers the shit methodically, he's like one of the best out there. He dissected like, why are you PC gamers all in this console war stuff? Why are you even talking about Xbox? You should be fucking talking about the PC game show and how much doo-doo water that was. That was diarrhea chunks. Oh my God. That was the worst representation of any platform I've ever seen in my life. I think Ouya would have had a better showcase. What are we doing here? And he just methodically started chopping it down. And I love the video. It was hilarious. I was sitting there getting my car tended to, driving all over the city, trying to get my car tended to, so get ready for my wife to go to work today. And I was just howling driving through the car. Like I think I just drove through random neighborhoods just so I could listen to the shit longer. It was that funny. But yeah, to Cold Blood's point, man, Yeah, we're not here. Like if Phil or anybody wants, or Yoshida or somebody calls us up and says we want to come on the show, that's great. We're going to, line up the interview or whatever it is. We're not watering shit down for no exec. We don't want to be part of the industry. And I think King Thrash did a great job in breaking down the difference between being part of the industry versus being part of the community. We're part of the community. So do we necessarily have insiders all the time? No, I don't always talk to somebody on the inside. I do have connections that I tap here and there when needed to, but a lot of times, a lot of the shit that's going on, you don't even need to tap into no connections to figure out what's going on. Like for instance, we're out here listening. First it's Wukong got money had it, and then now it's Wukong ain't on Xbox because Xbox has all these elaborate tools, and because it's so powerful, it's much more difficult to develop for. Like, which one is it? And the former came from someone who claimed to have insiders. So I don't need to, because here's what you guys don't understand. And with my Fortune 500 experience, I know because I've been guilty of this, because this is what I had to do for my job. There is something called controlled leaks, meaning we want to control the narrative. We want people to think this, even though that is going on. So here's what I want you to do. Go find a source, go tap into that source, give them some random information that'll have people concentrating over here while we go ahead and do this. It's called a controlled leak. Businesses do it all the time. When I used to report on Stadia, I used to get controlled leaks all the time as well. Now, the controlled leaks that I got before, there was a lot of shit that I was given, but I had to verify the information because I had devs that I could get verified stuff from me too. So once I got a dev to verify it, then I said, aha, I'll roll with this. If a dev never verified it, I'm like, I don't know if this is just some cockamamie propaganda that people want me to pass out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, controlled leaks happen all the time. So we are focused on being in tune with the community. We don't care about having this exec show up or that exec show up, because they are trained and schooled in deception. And sometimes you don't even need them here to even figure out what's going on. Rather than having an actual exec here, which would be great for entertainment purposes, I'd rather have somebody who knows what's going on behind the scenes and can provide me proof behind the scenes under anonymity. You know what I'm saying? I trust that more than I trust an exec coming on my show trying to riddle you guys with propaganda that we can't fact check at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, we are not insiders. We're not trying to be insiders. And these people that act like that they're insiders, like most of the time, I used to hear all the time, y'all, well, you've never been at an E3 and we've never seen you at an E3. How do you know stuff? With my corporate experience, I know when I'm being bullshitted because I've had to do it my damn self. So I know it. Game recognizes game. In this digital world where you can talk to people all over the globe, you don't need to be in somebody's face to know what. All you got to do is have common sense. Cold Blood doesn't have the connections that I do. And what is it? Most of the stuff that he's told you guys, what has happened? Or you may argue is in the process of happening. So all this insider bull, like you guys just because you get an exec to sit in front of your face and tell you stuff, how do you know that's the truth? How do you know your platform or you are not being used to cascade propaganda? And we've heard people have insiders where they've come out and said, oh, this is happening. Excuse me. And that's happening and it never happens. So we're not one of those platforms. We're a platform that's here for the community. We use our wits. We use common sense. We use precedent and we can see patterns. And because of that, we analyze what's going on and we give you our synopsis based on it. And we think the biggest measure is not how many numbers are next to our name or next to our avatar, but look at what we said would happen and look at what's actually happened versus those people with sources. And that's the best way to look at our platform. So we're almost there with 10 likes. Oh, we're too short. So again, if you're just coming in, shout out to you. Check out the new member goals. We got them out there. Those are our new weekly, bi-weekly, monthly member goals. They will change and get even better as the support grows. But that's what we're looking at now. So if you have any questions, definitely let us know. We got Cree86 in here. He says, I think everything being shown on PC is fine. They are a third-party developer, and it makes sense to show the best version of the game. I would not be mad at Ubisoft for doing the same thing. What do you think about that, Cold Blood?
I agree with you on the Ubisoft part, but absolutely not with the Xbox part. Hell no.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unacceptable that they call it an Xbox showcase.
Mm-hmm.
When that shit is literally a PC showcase.
Yeah. Microsoft Gaming Showcase would have been appropriate.
Yes. If they called it that, okay. Sure.
Yeah. Yep. But this is Xbox, and we know where Xbox has hit it, but it's not there yet. We can't sit there and I think give them a pass because of where they're headed. Xbox was headed in many different directions, and they didn't land there. The fact of the matter is, as Digital Foundry stated, their core audience is on the console. Whether they think the console is a Polaroid, whatever Phil says, nobody gives a damn. That is their core audience. They need to address their core audience first and foremost and be transparent with them, if not the most with them. You need to start showing shit that is going to be on you need to represent what it's going to look like on console. Because here's the thing, Cree, and I get where you're coming from, but I think you're ahead of yourself. They're not third-party developers yet. Because if that was the case, then when Doom was released, how come you didn't say coming to PlayStation, right? Well, how come you're not mentioning the other third-party places where your games are headed? So this was supposed to be a showcase that's based upon your ecosystem. And look, it's not easy for me to just go build a $1,900 or $2,000 rig or PC or get a $2,000 video card. Like I got a console. I got your Series S. Show me what that shit is going to look like there. And I think Digital Foundry is right there. Now, when they fully now next generation, Cree, I'm with you. By next generation, when they come out with that hardware, that's going to be PC based. You're 1,000% right. Doesn't matter by then. But right now, because your core audience is on your platform, your console, you need to show what shit's going to look like on the console. You know what I mean? And shout out to you, Cree, for being a member. We really appreciate it, bro. Hellblade 2 was a huge disappointment. Yeah, I want to show you guys this real quick because I think this is extremely comical. I got people, they mad at me, man. They are mad at me because I put this out here. I said, Hellblade. Here goes Hellblade 2, y'all. And here goes Hellblade 1. Like, Jesus. Like, what the hell is going on here? And I'm hearing excuse. Go ahead.
Next excuse is they're still all playing the first one, so they can't play the second one.
Bro, yes. You know, I actually got that. Hold on. It's funny that you said that because for shits and giggles, I was going back and forth with this dude. Here it goes right here. I bullshit you not. Let me show you right here. Let me see. Hold on. It says yet again. Okay. So he says yet again, it's an offline 7-hour game that's been out for a month. Oh, for whatever. It's slipping out of Game Pass and get again. Steam players. Hold on. Now, what did he say? Oh, he says, I said, so you totally ignored what it's doing versus Hellblade 1, huh? Cool. Because he's like, well, it's only a single player game and it doesn't matter. And so then he says, well, that's people playing 1 in order to play 2. Hey, bruh. Look, just on Steam alone, Hellblade has never seen the peak players that Hellblade 2 has not seen the peak players on Steam alone that it's seen on Hellblade 1. You know what I'm saying? That's sad within itself. Number two, all Xbox games, especially their core games, or dare I say tentpole. Shout out, we got the Ruhan with $5. He says, yo, what's up, MM? I used to catch you on Z show back in the day. What's good? Hey, Ruhan, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, as always. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Good brother, that $5 super chat. Just been chilling, man. Just been chilling. Yeah, I been doing some stuff in the daylight because of my schedule. I actually run a business in the afternoons. So in the afternoons I gotta run. So yeah, unfortunately, I haven't been able to do late shows. We did kind of a late show Friday because of some stuff that I had to do. And shout out to Z. Z actually came through in the chat. So shout out to my brother Z. But no, I still be checking this stuff, man. I still be seeing y'all over there cutting up, man. I see y'all cutting up over there, Ruham. But yeah, man. So what's going on is, but shout out to you, Ruham. But yeah, but what's going on is, look, I wasn't expecting this game to hit 10, 20, 30, 100,000 people. That's not the message. The message is you had the richest company of the world at the time absorb this company. We saw graphics that really made us go, wow. That was supposed to represent the entire freaking game. You know what I'm saying? Like we were expecting you to push the entire game, push the envelope on the entire game. So if you, after being absorbed by the richest company in the world, and they're talking about all these resources are now at their disposals, is now laying at their feet. You now got to ask the question, what was the point of them even buying them? Because they made a better game by all appearances. They made a better game the first time around without you. And guess what's going to happen now? 2 words. Tango works. And I don't want to hear that trash about, oh, Tango, well, Phil, Matt Booty said, Matt's Booty. I don't care what Matt's Booty said. Pause. I don't care. That's not what I do. That's what y'all do. Y'all do Matt's Booty. I don't do it. First, he said they needed games that were going to make them some type of money. Then they sat back and watched what the response was to that. And now they're coming back with a different excuse of we tried to sell them and do all this other. Man, shut up. Ain't nobody trying to hear that trash. It's incompetency. And now the chickens have come home to roost, because if you're not jumping out of the woodwork and making these cats money, they're like, we got ABK now. We can lean off of them and we can purge everything else. So I would, if you're a fan of Ninja Theory, I would be worried. Don't argue with me. I'm just, like I told the one cat, I'm just a messenger. Like Tango, this didn't reach certain margins. Around this time next year, don't be surprised. That's all I gotta say. All right, we had 11 likes. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys did a lot better this time around. Y'all were making me nervous. I thought y'all didn't know how to hit the like button. I thought y'all were missing y'all thumbs. All right. Shout out to everybody. Make sure. Juice, we got Juice in the house. When you're a member, we make sure we shout you out. And he says, didn't they say Doom was coming to PlayStation 5 at the announcement event? No, they said that on Twitter. They said that on Twitter, and then Phil Spencer mentioned it separately, I think during the IGN interview, because he was asked about it. But at the actual showcase, no, they didn't do it. Jaz Gordon is generally yeah, and I think and Cree, I think above that, above him being fed, I think they work in cahoots. Like this whole Black Myth Wukong thing, that's clearly Jaz trying to be the good old boy, the attaboy, right? And cahoot with somebody at Microsoft to say, look, I'm going to ask you about why Black Myth Wukong is coming, and I'm going to ask you if they have a deal with somebody else. And that way you can respond. That'll justify you responding about, I can't talk about deals. But what we know that'll do is that'll set it up to where it looks like that they do have a deal. That's the perception it'll set. He works in cahoots with them. He does. He's very, very emotionally unstable because he doesn't know whenever they don't look good, he doesn't know what he's going to do. And I said, and I allude to this in a video this weekend. We're going to get to the show. I just want to say this real quick because I'm dying to talk to Cold Blood about this. And I know you guys are dying to hear our conversation about what Digital Foundry had to say. But here's what I'm going to say. I used to laugh at a subsect of Xbox gamers because I was like, no matter what Xbox says, y'all defend them. And I was like, y'all get mad at people when they criticize Xbox. But then I had to think about it because Jaz just reminded me of this. It's not that Jaz is criticizing Xbox, like he doesn't like something that Xbox did, and as a gamer it upsets him. Jaz and many other of these influencers and creators, they get upset when Xbox makes them look bad or makes their credibility look bad. But you're never in a position like that if you're keeping it a buck in the first place. So if Xbox feeds you some bullshit, you don't vet it, you just run with it, kind of like how what Jaz Gordon did with him saying that it was copium, that Xbox first party games were coming. And then remember when they were talking about it before, and he sat down with Phil Spencer and he did that whole ass interview with Phil Spencer, and they were making it seem like that Xbox wasn't trying to go third party or publish on different platforms, right? Now that Xbox made him look like an ass and attacked his credibility, then he's upset. He's not upset about the shenanigans that they're pulling on consumers. He's not upset about how they're fucking up developers and fucking up gaming. He just gets rattled when they're messing up his image. So what you guys got to understand, and what I had to come to the realization, I'm not defending it, but these Xbox purists that defend everything, they're looking at it as in, look, we know Xbox is trash. When you talk to these mugs behind the scenes, these are the conversations that I have. We know Xbox is trash. We know it's doo-doo soup. It's poop. But we feel that there is no other alternative that we would rather deal with. We're willing to sit here, and I explained that sitting at the bottom of the well. We're willing to sit here at the bottom of the well, and instead of trying to climb ourselves up, we're going to wait for someone to airlift us. And if somebody officially announces, you know what, guys, we know you've been waiting down here patiently, there is no helicopter coming, then we'll try to climb up. But until then, we're sitting down here. We know where we're at. Everybody should know where Xbox is at. So the fact that you motherfuckers are 1 month praising it, then 1 month complaining, 1 month praising the one, that's their complaint. And you know what? When you look at it that way, I still think it's dog shit as consumer practice to be sitting there wanting to, allowing yourself to be there at the bottom of the well. But if that's what you want to do with your little club or your little cult, fine. But you got these other people that are not fans. They're just trying to pilfer the actual fans for money because they feel like praising Xbox is a very lucrative business, which it is. You've seen many people that for no reasonable excuse went from PlayStation over to Xbox. And Xbox is doing worse. So make that make sense. You know what I'm saying? I can understand if Xbox was doing better. It's doing worse. So, all right. With that said, no, it's okay, Cree. He says, yeah, it was the Xbox. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. Yeah, it was everything was all happening at once and shit. Jaz is no better than these OnlyFans girls giving up the self-respect for super chats. Oh man,
Isn't it funny how Jaz skipped 3 stages of grief?
Yeah.
Like he was first in denial and then immediately accepted. Like no anger, no bargaining, no depression, just straight up acceptance.
Well, that's good.
Well, these bots are still fucking at anger. Yeah, he's already done with it.
Jaz gets paid to talk up Xbox. He gets touchy when Microsoft or anyone makes his job harder to do. I think that's a good description too. Because he says a lot of shit. Like when he's made to look bad in his data boy way, when he feels like, oh man, I went to bat for you guys and y'all didn't make this bullshit work. Now I look bad. Like y'all just decided to abandon this bullshit path that I was endorsing and I was trying to help make way and y'all didn't let me know. When he feels betrayed like that, that's when he's the beef eaters drinking Jaz who gets on the mic and starts talking truthful to a certain degree. He's worse than the sycophants, as far as I'm concerned. He's worse than the motherfuckers that want to sit at the bottom of the well and just wait to get airlifted instead of trying to climb out themselves. So, yeah, it's a very interesting character. But thank you again, guys, for everybody. We got Geek to Sneak in the house. Geek to Sneak, another member. And again, if you become a member, you're not only getting great content, like we have great content over the weekend. We are going to have great content throughout the week, but now you are entering into opportunities to, for more giveaways. So he said, King Greek, he says, you're welcome, MM. Thank you, Geek, for the suggestion. All right. Shout out to Geek to Sneak. All right, let's do this. Let's get into the show. So Cold Blood, I wanted to get your thoughts on this, brother, because I haven't been able to really link with you as far as what's been going on in the gaming world over the weekend. But I'm really interested to get your thoughts. Let me just go over the story real quick for those that are not aware. Digital Foundry says that the Xbox giveaway, we're having a giveaway. The Xbox showcase. The Xbox showcase. Even though they gave it critical acclaim and they said it was great and all this other stuff, and there's elements of it that they love, they said, look, in this presentation, it was misleading. It was misleading for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is this usage of in-game footage, and I'm glad they addressed that because we're seeing a lot of Xbox sycophants and wood buffers that try to convince us, well, if you see in-game, then that's the actual gameplay, right? So they addressed that. They said, no, it's not representation of game. Anything could be made in game engine. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean anything. Also, they said that their gameplay was indistinguishable between PC and console. Like, meaning, you don't tell us which gameplay is PC, which gameplay is console. That's not good. They also had some critical things to say about Perfect Dark, and y'all wanted to attack your boy, throw Rotten Tomatoes at me, because I said I didn't think Perfect Dark was impressive. They didn't go as far as me, but they definitely pointed to some inconsistencies there, and I just caught them more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not impressed with Perfect Dark. I just think that it looks real shiny. Now, it is in UE5, so some of that luminous or whatever the hell is going on with the shadows and shit like that, I think it's making some things pop, but I'm really doubting, unless this is in the early stages of development, I'm really doubting the AAA-esque of this. This could be another AA game that just happens to look good because of UE5 tools. And then they talk about PlayStation and Nintendo being way more transparent when it comes to letting you know, yes, we see on the bottom of the PlayStation videos, oh, this is rendered in, this is on PC or this was on console. They let you know. And Nintendo, they don't even want you showing any footage of your game. They don't care if it's multiple. They don't want you showing any footage of their games with their logo unless you're showing it on Switch footage. Right. So, with that said, my questions for Cold Blood are, what are your thoughts on this whole in-game footage? What are your thoughts on how Digital Foundry broke it down versus how people are always trying to lean on, yeah, this is in-game footage to try to make you feel good about the game?
Remember what they said about Gears?
Well, oh, you know what? I missed that. Oh yeah, they said it about Gears too. Yeah.
They said, that's in-game footage. That's no CGI.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Come to find out, it's some in-engine rendered bullshit. Mm-hmm. Wait, I got a call. Sorry.
Okay. Oh no, that's all right. Yeah, and I'm just gonna elaborate on that until he gets back. We saw the stark differences between in-game footage and actual gameplay. And I even though we've been kicking their teeth in, deservingly so, I applaud PlayStation. If there's anything to do, because I thought about this while I was drafting this up. If there's anything positive that you can take away from that showcase, is that I think PlayStation, whether it was inadvertent or not, they put to bed the potency of calling something in-game engine. Concord is a perfect example. I'm not saying Concord looks horrible or looks bad. It doesn't look bad. It looks okay. But when they showed you that in-game engine cinematic versus the actual gameplay, there were stark differences, weren't there? Yes. So when I hear this in-game engine and people relying on, look, I've been gaming, I'm gonna say this ad nauseum, I've been gaming for almost 40 freaking years. My 40th anniversary will be next year. Gaming. Yes. I've been gaming longer than some of your dads have been alive, let alone yourself. It'll be my 40th year gaming next year. I done had damn well every gaming magazine. I done seen every generation. I done seen every tactic, every trick known to man. And I've seen how this in-game engine was used to make you think that you're going to the 29th century with games, and then when the game releases, you're brought back to reality. So I am just ecstatic. And you guys know I'm not the biggest Digital Foundry fans. I think that Digital Foundry's rise to stardom a lot of times is over-exaggerated, and it came on the heels of Grassgate, them measuring blades of grass and Grand Theft Auto versus Xbox versus PlayStation. I think they've become a lot more essential to help point out some things this generation, because as we saw things were being marketed by Xbox as far as what the capabilities of their machines were, we found out that those things were not true. So they were adequate myth busters in some of these more overzealous claims. So I'll give them that this generation. But prior, I really didn't see I didn't see any profound use of Digital Foundry up until this generation. Because again, there were some crazy claims being made, and most of them were false. That being said, I applaud their efforts this time around. They've tried to lean more into game conversations, right? And talking about reviewing games. I don't care what their thoughts are on games outside of the whole technical level. If they can create the technical conversations and do their game review conversations separate, I'm happy. But those of you that want all that shit, go ahead and you go pick up Digital Foundry's game reviews. I not here. But their approach to saying, hey, hold on now. You might be trying to sell some snake oil right there. And I'm not saying that they're perfect. No, in no way, shape, or form are they perfect. And I think King Thrash in some of his content has shown us that. They're not perfect, but they've been mighty effective in making sure that claims don't get too redonkulous and too out of control, and B, if claims are going, if there are any ridiculous claims made, that there's now an increased likelihood that Digital Foundry is going to put them to bed. Again, I'm not saying they're going to do it all the time or that they're perfect, but there's an increased likelihood they'll put them to bed. And because of that, these game makers are now on notice. So I really appreciate the fact that they started, that they're calling them out on that. With that said, yeah. One of my big criticisms of the showcase, and it's me. Again, like I said, my score, for full transparency, my score was a 7.9. I couldn't quite give it a B. I left it right there on the cliffhanger. I couldn't give it a B because there were no mic drop moments, right? Like if I'm gonna give it a B, that's a B that I gotta compare to other showcases that I gave a B. And I gotta look at the standards that were set. Standards are important, because standards help guide people. When you have no standards and you're just all over the place because you're emotional, then you're not helping your fellow gamer. And we're here not to boost up the industry. They got to do that themselves. They got trillions of dollars. I don't. We're here to boost up the acumen of the community, the knowledge base of the community, the understanding of the community, and helping them make sure that they get what they rightfully deserve. So when I look at that showcase, and again, I'm like, I don't mind the showcase. It was I think it was good. It was the best showcase that they've had this generation, and arguably the best showcase of any showcase this generation. We just haven't had real good showcases this generation.
I don't agree.
You don't agree? What do you think?
Oh, but the most entertaining showcase they had was when they showed Halo Infinite and Craig. That motherfucker. Should I repeat myself? No, bro, that motherfucker became a meme overnight and was like a meme for all year, bro.
Yeah, Craig. That was entertaining.
That was my favorite Xbox showcase ever, bro. I was laughing my ass off.
Was I still an Xbox then? Or did I have X? No, I think I fully abandoned my Xbox.
Stadia bandit.
Yeah. I think I abandoned my Xbox tendencies back then. It was more of disgust. The disgust had started to settle in. Cold Blood, what do you think about Yeah, so you were talking about the use of in-game footage and how Digital Foundry smacked that down. What are your thoughts on that? Did we lose Cold Blood? We might have lost. Yeah. Okay.
I said they're not transparent whatsoever.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, bro, why are you not saying it's running on a PC or in-engine or something? Like, it's always just gameplay footage.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool. Where is it running at? On an Xbox, I don't think so.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, what do we expect from Microsoft at this point? Like, that is so Microsoft, bro. Just gaslighting everybody, and then under delivering as usual.
Yeah, lack of transparency, trying to fool people, trying to lie, trying to deceive. That's what they become all about. And then this is what kills me. Even though I understand where those Xbox gamers that want to be at the bottom of the well, even though I get where they're coming from, and they're like, well, don't come if you can't deal with stinky, smelly, damp wells, then don't come down here. You know what I mean? Because we know we're at the bottom. Even though I get that, I still, the consumer in me, I don't excuse the fact that they're willing to help Xbox lie to other consumers. Like they want you to waste your money on a product that you're not gonna like, just so they can feel good about their purchase. That's not gamerly to me at all. But I feel like at this point in time, you can't force it one way or the other. You cannot force the user base to not settle for the bottom and just hopelessly wait to be drug up to the top. And you can't force real gamers and real consumers to want to be at the bottom of the well. Like, you got, it's just a clear, they always say, dude, everything's not black and white and there's a little bit of gray. There is no gray here. There is no gray. Until Xbox not showcases, but produces great games that people want to buy, purchase, spend money on, and play consistently, they are not for you if you want to consume quality. You cannot force it any other way. It either is or it isn't. It doesn't get any plain Jane than that. So when you see Digital Foundry pointing this out about, hey, the use of in-game engine, that's trash. Do not fall for it. And then the simple fact that, look, we can laugh at PlayStation and criticize them as they deserve it all we want. They showed you the uselessness of in-game footage versus the actual game footage with Concord. That discussion, just to be a smarter consumer base, just to be a smarter subsect of gamers, that discussion of in-game footage should be fucking over.
Most wrong terminology, not in-game, in-engine.
Or in-engine footage should be over. That shit should be done. Doriega says, I can't go back. I'm sorry. Am I doing with them what? With them, yes, I am. I don't care what comes. It's more what it is, Doriega. And you guys the members, you gotta watch that video. And if you're not a member, hit that join button so you get access to this consistent member content. What you got to do is watch that video on how I break it down, because I have personal experience. You got to remember, these are people that I talk to behind the scenes. I'm spilling the tea. I spill a little bit of tea. I do name some names, but the names that I name, for the most part, for the names that I name that I normally wouldn't name, I don't do it in a negative tone. There are people that I always talk about, and I'm always going to talk about. Like, I'm always going to talk about Jaz. Jaz is just he's a slime bucket who, when it comes to this part, is emotionally unhinged, and he doesn't care who he deceives. We've seen this before with this whole Wukong thing that he pulled off a few days ago. We've seen it when he sat down with Phil when questions were first arising about Xbox going third party, and then he sat down and did that interview with Phil, and they were misleading there. He's done it on multiple occasions, told people to cope. And then, you know, in between him doing stuff to purposefully deceive gamers, he tried to play the innocent victim. I'm just a blogger. Bullshit. How do you, in the same breath, say I'm just a blogger, but then try to write a journalistic style hit piece on game science for Wukong because they didn't respond to you, the non-blogger? If you're not the non-journalist, if you're just a blogger, why the fuck would they respond to you in the first place? We know why Xbox responds to you. Because entertaining the sicko fans at their advantage is actually part of their strategy. It was listed when Sarah Bond got hired to become Xbox's president. It was the president of Xbox, and one of her job descriptions was what was it? Content creator, some bullshit to deal with the community. I've never seen a head of a gaming department, like one of the heads of the gaming department, being charged of, you know, content or game community relations or some bullshit like that. That's usually given to someone like an Aaron Greenberg or something. Why is she responsible for that? Her job is to put out a great product and to coordinate with the marketing team to express why this product is great. But yeah, you got to watch that. It's not just about them, Doriega, saying we are going to excuse anything. It's like we're at the bottom. And we know Xbox is trash. We know they're trash. When I've had these conversations with them, this is what they're saying. We know Xbox is dog shit. We're going to come out here and we're going to defend. We're not going to say that publicly, but we know it's dog shit. But the things that they say that they want to do, we're giving them the benefit of the doubt, along with the fact that A, all I know is Xbox, or B, I fucking hate PlayStation. So it's a culmination for those sicko fans. It's a culmination of A, all I know is Xbox, and I'm afraid to let it go. And I was in that boat too, because Xbox brought me back to gaming. I took a hiatus, and Xbox, along with the GameCube, brought me back. So it was like, it's a combination of I'm afraid to abandon Xbox. I don't know nothing else. I don't know if I trust this PlayStation thing, or if I trust this Switch thing, or if I trust this PC thing. I'm not going in. No, I will go to the Ouya, like dig Stadia out of its grave. I'd go anywhere else besides PlayStation. I fucking hate PlayStation. That's what it is. And because reasonably, objectively, not subjectively, the average consumer that engages with Xbox product and services, they don't care for it. That's why its numbers are so low. That's why the only way that pulled their numbers out of the negative realm was their purchase of Activision Blizzard. And here's the thing to consider, you guys. All that legacy Xbox content and all those legacy Xbox studios, and when I say legacy, what do I mean? Now that Xbox and ABK have joined at the hip, they are considerably a different product. They're just working out their new branding, and they're trying to figure it out as they go. That's been Xbox for the last 13 years. Whatever, that's another podcast. But they are something new. They are something new that's more of a resemblance of a Microsoft gaming thing, right? Opposed to a traditional Xbox. So when I say legacy Xbox, it's an industry term that means what was before said event. The said event is the combination of ABK and Xbox under Microsoft. So now that you've had that merge, all legacy Xbox content, IP, whatever, it is on the table to either be shipped third party or purged altogether. Why is that? You got to look at this from a financial perspective. Xbox was in the green with some impressive numbers when you combine ABK with it. But next fiscal year, they're not going to have that luxury to rely on the ABK merger because now it's done. Now that ABK is part of the whole outfit, now we got to look at what's going on with Xbox, ABK, legacy content, and how it's growing. And if that legacy content continues to fail, right? Like how we showed you here. That's why I said around this time next year, don't be surprised. And I'm not wishing this on them because I think Ninja Theory's hell of a developers. They're just under the wrong helm. But if that legacy content cannot be managed, right, to be on the uptick, it's going to be a strain on what happens with ABK, and then they're going to be back in the negative. And everybody's going to look at it and say, so you were only boosted because of ABK. You inherently can't do anything right, and the only thing that's saving you is ABK. So in order for them to avoid that type of reception from the market, they are putting the legacy shit on trial. They're putting it on speed trial. It's like Night Court. They're going to put out these legacy games, Hellblade, Gear, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And when these games come out there, if they don't cut it, if they don't boost profits, if they don't boost margins, they're fucking gone. Why? Because they cannot risk having such a huge boost and then being back in the red with their numbers. They can't risk that. We know Activision Blizzard's not going to be in the red because Activision Blizzard is the largest. Before they were absorbed, they themselves were the largest publisher in the world because of Call of Duty. So the Activision Blizzard portion will always be good. World of Warcraft, Diablo, even when it's considered shitty or whatever, they're going to be good, right? They can take risks with them. But it's all this legacy Xbox stuff, this Obsidian, which Obsidian might be okay. Obsidian finds a way to, within their small realm, to come out on the positive side of things. But the developers of We Happy Few that are making this Southern Till Midnight game or whatever the fuck it's called. I know I keep fucking it up and I'm doing it on purpose. I could care less to South of the Midnight, whatever it's called. Them, Bethesda. That's why you saw Tango Slash, Ninja Theory, Coalition. All these mugs. 343. We're hearing Halo is coming to PlayStation. All of this Bethesda / legacy. Well, Bethesda is legacy because they were before, but all this legacy Xbox content, they're at the highest at risk because when we get out of the fiscal, I think we're in 24, 25 for them. When we get out of this current fiscal and we go into the next fiscal, and then they start comparing quarters from the next fiscal to this one. See, this one, they had the luxury of being able to compare it versus what? The APK deal. But once they're comparing Xbox ABK to Xbox ABK, and them numbers go down because of that legacy studios and that legacy content, they're up shit's creek. I'll say it one more time. Right now, you're seeing comparisons between Xbox and ABK versus legacy Xbox without ABK. Those numbers look juicy as hell. But once you start comparing quarters and fiscals of Xbox ABK versus Xbox ABK year 2, the numbers can't be bad. And that's why everything's on the chopping block. So take that into consideration, y'all, when you're looking at this content. and looking at what's at risk. And that's why I keep arguing with these Mensa candidates out here on Twitter. Like, you guys don't get it. You guys think it's purely about, well, who looks better on Twitter? No, your favorite developers are at risk of being purged. They told you, they gave you 5 different excuses. We didn't make up 5 different excuses for Tango Gameworks. They gave you, and I'm over exaggerating with 5, but you catch my drift. They gave you an excuse day one. Then it was another excuse. Now there's this third excuse. We tried to shop them around. It's excuse after excuse after excuse. They cannot be trusted. So if any of your favorite developers have been caught in a web of this Microsoft purchase machine, you better be worried. And the sign of that desperation is, again, number one, trying to slyly abandon the console core and flip it to PC, even though they're not ready yet. And how are they going to do this? They're going to do this through just integrating their hardware solely with PC. I'm going to tell you this much. Now, on the cloud gaming side, there's not a lot of tinkering that you need to do. I know via NVIDIA GFN, it's my favorite way to game. So when I'm dealing with a multi-plat, I usually get it there first because I get tip-top output. And my PlayStation 5 is for those illustrious PlayStation exclusives. Unless there's a game that I want to play with my friend and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'd rather get it on the 5. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying here is that if they go the route of cloud gaming with this streaming box, once you get your network together and you set it up, you're Gucci. But what if you don't live in an area where the internet is pristine? You're forced to get this handheld. And how much is this handheld going to be? Because we know Xbox is no longer going to lose money on hardware. That's out the door. They're no longer going to do it. That's why they're getting out of the console business in the first place. And they're dealing with this hardware. They're not going to lose money on. So how much is this hardware going to be? In order for them to go PC, and let's just say if the hardware is cheap. If the hardware is cheap, which I doubt. If the hardware is cheap, then how much fidelity are you going to lose? So if I live out in urban America, I mean, not urban, if I live out in rural America, excuse me. If I live in rural America where the internet is so bad, in order for me to download a patch, I got to take it to the local GameStop. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad the internet is out there in rural America. Which 35 to 40% of console gamers in United States live in rural America. So if I take it to rural America, and now my console expense went from $500. Now I'm paying $600 plus for this handheld in order for it to have decent fidelity, right? Or maybe I do get a cheap handheld, but now it's trash. And I don't have any other alternative besides the stream box, where the stream box is not fathomable because I have bad internet. So you're putting your core consumer base in a peculiar spot in the hopes that you will, by you dumping them that are going to be left out in the cold per these new practices, that you gain that and some off the PC base. If that's your hopes and your dreams, then you need to be a little bit more transparent about your approach to PC. I would start saying things like, you know what? We understand the needs of the console gamer and why they're not native PC gamers in a traditional sense. But here's what we're looking to do at Microsoft. We are looking to take the power and the flexibility of PC, or the power and the flexibility that's known from the PC gaming space, but put it in a package that feels right at home for console gamers. And console gamers will see the benefit. And you better start letting people know that now. Like, just be transparent, man. Do not do the switcheroonie on people. That's why Sarah Bond is doing that exploratory committee on game preservation, because there's not going to be a backwards compatible thing anymore. You're going to run an emulator for your games, and if you get future Xbox hardware, how is that going to work? Xbox talked about maybe doing a trade-in thing where you trade in your disc for $1 and they give you a digital code or something, whatever the case may be. These oodles and oodles of games that are on these Xbox libraries, hardware or digital, you guys got to figure out something. And how do you tell Xbox gamers who bought a hard copy, that got their hard copy version preserved, you're SOL? So they got to figure out something. And I say the time is now. Like, if you're going to here's what you need to do. Because there's never an excuse to not be transparent. Here's what you need to do. Until you make that move, your footage needs to be on console. PlayStation does it. Nintendo definitely does it. Oh, you ain't gotta believe me. Digital Foundry said so. They told you so. Right? You gonna believe Phil, but you ain't gonna believe Digital Foundry? Nintendo does it. And we all know that they do it. And PlayStation does it. They're like, no, we have to be transparent here. And Nintendo definitely doesn't play. So during the duration of this situation, where you're still trying to cater and you're not ready to announce your conversion to PC, the footage needs to be on console. I get that there's PC gamers. You release a PC version later. They're PC gamers. They're going to look up videos, and you put a PC version of the video out later. But your core right now is the console gamer. They're keeping you afloat. You need to cater to them. That's slimy business. Phil wanted to talk about slimy business during the summer showcase. That's slimy business. As Digital Foundry alluded, stop misleading the gamer. Make it console footage. Show them what they're going to get. That will motivate you to sooner rather than later sit down, earn the hard bucks, earn those top dollars that you make, and come up with a savvy but transparent way to communicate to your console core that, hey, look, we get it. Console gamers in the traditional sense are not PC gamers. However, what we're doing at Microsoft is groundbreaking. You can say that. Everything's groundbreaking. Everybody uses what we're doing is groundbreaking. We see the importance of our core base, the console gamer, and we see the potential growth in reaching more gamers with PC. But we get the difference between the two. We we're developing a way where we take the core benefits and the flexibility and the improvements in quality that is synonymous with PC gaming. Yeah, I think that's fair. Even that's a little bit over exaggerated. I think it's fair. Just frame it like that. And we're combining it with the ease of use and the plug and play of console games. Introducing Xbox Exodus or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? And then, will it not be slimy? Will it not be misleading that when you do showcases and you show future games, right? Right, Cree? You see where I'm coming from now? It won't be slimy if you show future games from PC, right? Because that's the version that you're playing. There you go. Is that so hard? And look, man, look, you done lied to these mofos. You done went third party. I mean, Tim Dog, goddamn it, Tim Dog was bigger than Halo. Tim Dog left. And you guys are capping harder for Xbox. Xbox is back. Phil Spencer. You guys are going all out to whack off Xbox from behind. Oh, use me as your towel. Y'all are going to overtime. Wickety whack, whack, whack. What was it? Puka, the Puka girl. Everybody's talking about. Y'all going in overtime. Hoopa. Hatuka, whatever the hell it is. Y'all going in overtime. Hands cramped up. Tendonitis kicking in. Oh, use me as your towel. Hooka. They will more than enough get away with the sicko fans. They will get away with explaining to them that we are converting to like a more PC core, but we're going to make it accessible to console gamers. Now, again, the caveat is, what are you getting for that accessibility? Because both can't happen. One or two things are going to happen because they're doing this because they don't want a closed ecosystem and they definitely don't want to lose money on gaming anymore. So what is the caveat? You're either going to get, there's the stream box, which I have my experience with stream boxes. If Xbox can do it right, and I know they've been doing a lot of work with NVIDIA, so maybe, and NVIDIA they license their shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if NVIDIA, like if you guys didn't know, NVIDIA licenses technology to Boosteroid. Yeah, I'm the cloud gaming guy. I know all this shit. I've done interviews with the person in charge of Boosteroid. Check it out over on Cloud Dosage. On the Cloud Dosage. So the person in charge of Boosteroid informed us that they're getting their shit licensed from NVIDIA. Now, who's to say that there's not going to be some partnership I don't know firsthand. I'm just assuming. Again, I don't have an insider, but I can use my common sense that it's fathomable that NVIDIA and Xbox, could be working out some deal to where some of that AI and machine learning technology that is used on the gaming side, maybe they're partnering and working on something, and there's going to be some works as it relates to gaming. If that happens, I can very well see Xbox having a very competent answer to cloud gaming finally. Yes, and I'm saying finally, I'm taking it there because shit ain't right now. But if it's there, then they'll finally have one. It'll be the shit, because if it runs like GeForce Now, particularly GeForce Now Ultimate, oh my God, it'll be the shit. Right? And so, because I have it on good authority, here's why I would say that GeForce would do. GeForce is in the cloud gaming business as a supplement / backup to their cards. NVIDIA is number one in AI and machine learning licensing technology. That's why they've outgrown Microsoft now as the world's most valued company. Like their valuation is higher than Microsoft's now. That's mainly because of AI and machine learning and licensing shit out and working with other companies based off that technology. Number one, if you didn't know that. That's why I get some of you eyes glaze over when it comes to this business shit, but you better know what the fuck is going on and why decisions are being made. They're number one because of that. Number two still is their hardware business. And at a distance, whatever, I don't know if they sell crackers and cheese and shit. I don't know what the fuck else they do. Somewhere in the distant list is cloud gaming. But it's a viable thing that they continue to invest in because gaming will lean more in the cloud in the future. It's inevitable. All right. And, by that time, our kids that are crawling around now, they'll be in their 20s and 30s. And gaming, cloud gaming will be instrumental in how they interact with games. Hardware, hard drive. What the fuck is that? No. Down the road, it's going to be completely different. And the capabilities are there now. Look at. I wish I had free GeForce Now Ultimate codes, but that shit is, as far as how many super pods they have accessible and how many people actually want access, that shit is in so high demand. These mofos are selling day passes now. Like they can't even give out full subscriptions all the time. They're selling day passes because the capabilities are there. It's sick. So once we get there in the future, that might be something that Microsoft and NVIDIA is partnering on, because NVIDIA's number one business is its licensing or its partnering on its AI and machine learning, and two, it's hardware. Phil Eisler, who is the vice president of GeForce, I believe, he said it in an interview not too long ago. He said, look, we're going to continue on this cloud gaming path because it sets us up for the future. But our main business, let there be no mistake, our main business is our hardware. When it comes to gaming, it's our hardware. Now, they're doing some fantastic shit with cloud gaming, like you guys probably didn't know, but there are games that utilize the reflex technology day and date on NVIDIA GeForce Now on the cloud, that because of the power of the super pods and the fact that they're in servers and shit like that, it's going to have the reflex technology, which is fantastic technology, by the way, before it has it natively. That's how crazy cloud gaming for NVIDIA GeForce Now is. So if Xbox can replicate that, then they'll have something on that end. And all you need is a cheap ass $200-$300 box to enjoy it. If that much. Here's where the problem comes in.
Why are you capping for something that just reduces system latency?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
NVIDIA GeForce Now, when it comes to native versus native hardware outside of an atypical PC, it has less latency than a console. So if you compare it to a console, yes. I mean, if you compare it to a PC,
why are you capping so much for? I still don't understand.
You understand the definition of capping is meaning that you're making false claims. There is no false claims about it.
You're making false claims, like reflex ain't in the native version of games. Like, what the fuck?
No, it's not. It's not going to be in all native versions of games. NVIDIA said it themselves. It's their technology. How was that cap?
Yes, but it's going to be in every title that supports NVIDIA.
I said at launch. You're going to have games at launch that when the game launches day and date, it's going to be in the cloud version and it won't be in the version. I'm speaking to the power that NVIDIA GeForce Now has now I didn't say it won't ever be in there. That's not a false claim. That came from NVIDIA themselves when I had my meeting with them.
It is a false claim because every game that launched had reflex.
Here we go. Number one, no, it didn't. There's one game, and I'll look it up, and we'll have that discussion, because they told me specifically there's one game that came out there, and I didn't say there are games. There will be games that will have, and they told me that from the videos. Well, why would they tell me that to say that publicly? To lie.
So you kept for fucking GeForce Now, bro. That's why.
No, that's not. It's not cap because there's a game out there where it's true. So is that cap? If there's a game out there that's true, how's that cap?
And what magical game is that?
Hit the like button. Like I said, I'll research that. I'll get that information for you, and then we'll have that discussion live.
You don't even know
hit that like
what
button.
The game is called, bro. You don't even know the game.
I can't remember because it was a conversation that we had last year.
Because you capped.
Well, we will have that conversation live on air, so we can expose that. It's not cap. Why would they lie? Why would they lie on their own for a business that I just said? They admittedly said it's not going to succeed their hardware business anytime soon. They've made it abundantly clear. Our cloud business is always going to be in the back burner to our hardware, but this is what it's capable of. That's not cap. Just because you don't like cloud, you ain't gotta hate on it. The only good cloud gaming you like is PlayStation, which is PlayStation is great too. I love they need to broaden its reach.
I just don't understand why you would cap for reflex, like, bro. That is the most insignificant fucking feature NVIDIA has.
That's
like,
not
literally
true. That is not true.
Bro.
Like for instance,
what does it do then?
It increases frame and stability. Reflex is huge. Like inside for instance, that is bullshit.
That is total bullshit. It does not. It does not increase your frames. Nope.
What do you
bro? No. Read up on it then. Yeah, you don't even know what you're capping about, bro.
No, reflex. You can't play overdrive mode in the NVIDIA GeForce Now without reflex. What are you talking about?
Brother,
I think you need
nothing to do with frames, brother.
I think you need to read up on it.
Okay, sure.
We'll do that right now. We didn't want to make this the NVIDIA GeForce Now, but
I just want you to keep it real, brother. We just say we want to keep it real, and you don't.
Okay, no, you're absolutely right. We want to keep it real. We're going to keep it real. So here goes. It's up there on the screen. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. Okay, it says reflex. NVIDIA Reflex victory measured in milliseconds. NVIDIA Reflex GeForce Now monitors deliver the lowest latency and best responsiveness for ultimate competitive advantage. Built to optimize and measure latency, Reflex provides faster target acquisition, quicker reaction times, and the best precision in...
Where's frames?
Yeah. Okay, but hold on.
Where are the frames? Where are the frames? That's all I want to know.
Hold on.
It doesn't increase frames, brother. Because it does fucking not. It's frame generation that does increase that shit.
Oh, no. Okay. No. You got me. My bad. I was talking about frame generation. I'm sorry. That's my bad. Okay. That's
why are you arguing with me, brother? On fucking tech topics. On tech topics, goddammit.
No, I meant frame generation. I mixed up the terminology.
Now I can say, okay, maybe they have some exclusive frame generation for whatever.
That's what I meant. Frame generation.
Maybe.
My bad.
Okay. But reflex, brother, who the fuck cares? It's just a little bit less latency with your mouse.
Yeah. My bad. I confused the two. I meant frame generation. I don't know why I was saying reflex. But yeah. Frame generation is the technology that has the frames and creates overdrive mode, for instance, in Cyberpunk 2077. It makes that even a possibility. So when you have technology like that, that's built off of their AI and machine learning, then you have a situation where Xbox could definitively have the have an upper hand. Well, I won't say the upper hand, but they could seriously increase the possibility of the output with their stream box. But that's for those people that can stream. It's not for it's not going to help out the people that don't have, and not to say that you need the greatest internet in order to stream, but when you live in areas like the Midwest, your ability to even download is hampered. Like I said, you got to take your console to the local GameStop in order to download a patch. So again, what's going to happen to those people? They're either going to be left with a higher handheld console that they had to pay like $650 for or whatever. I'm not sure what these Asus ROG prices are. Or they're going to have to deal with a lesser handheld that doesn't reach the capabilities that they're used to with native hardware, and they can't use the streaming technology. Why? Because they don't have good internet. So yeah, that's why I say right now, and I totally agree with Digital Foundry. Right now, what they need to do is show you what the game looks like on console. If the game doesn't look great on console, well, you got to deal with that and be transparent with the people. But what will help you in the long run is when you come out here and you explain what your next move is, to deal with the fact that the console structure isn't up to par. And how do you do that? You let people know what your next steps are. And you earn your bucks in being able to explain that. That's how you handle all that. So let me see. Do we have any more comments from members? Cree says, I don't. What'd you say?
I still want my apology for all the times you've been capping for Reflex while talking about fucking frame generation.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like to. I don't know. No, I know what I just used the wrong terminology, which I normally do. I don't know what it's like to live on a nuclear sub, says Cree. Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah. When I said they was gonna go nuclear. Jonathan says, don't let Cold Blood talk to you like that way. I mean, fight back. No, what Cold Blood likes to do, he knew I misspoke. He knew I misspoke. So instead of just saying, no, you don't mean, he knew what I meant because he said it at the end. Instead of saying, oh, you misspoke, Moss.
No, because, no. The whole talk was not about frames. Until you said frames, I was thinking you mean fucking Reflex. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then when you said frames, then I was like, oh, he means fucking frame generation. I did not know that you meant frame generation.
Why would I talk about what in the conversation was about latency and time response?
I don't know. Because you always said Reflex. I don't know.
Okay.
I know exactly what the fuck he said video feed.
For him to respond the way that he did and say no frame generation, he knew that I was misspeaking. Even if he heard it at the beginning, he does this all the time. Sean. Frame generation is the opposite of reducing latency. It creates in between frames that make the image transition smoother, but the game isn't polling those frames. Yeah, we were talking about frame generation where the video told me themselves, hey, look, this is not under NDA. Let people know there's going to be games that have frame generation technology in it, day and date on the in the cloud, but it's not going to have it on the native hardware. And so that right there just shows you that how powerful their cloud streaming platform is.
AMD's frame generation is even more powerful because you can just patch it in by yourself if you want to. You don't even
is their frame generation better? No.
Well, it's not much worse than Nvidia's, to be honest with you. And it can have more FPS than the DLSS 3.
And what games is their frame generation in?
Starfield, for example. I think Avatar had it too.
I got to see these examples of where.
No, but you can literally patch FSR 3 yourself into games that don't even support it. And you can use any GPU for that. While on Nvidia's side, you can only use the 40 series.
Okay, but with hold on, yeah, but with GeForce Now, you don't need a particular GPU on the hardware that you're using, for one, and for two, until AMD gets their frame generation up, which there might be an instant or two. I want to be careful in saying it can be better. Like, in what ratio? Like, how many games do we see better performance from AMD than we see from GeForce?
Well, it's more about usability, to be honest with you, and it's more consumer friendly, in my opinion, that they made it open source.
Okay, but I mean that's cool and all. I'm talking about performance.
Performance, I think it can get very high.
I mean, but I'm talking about in performance versus NVIDIA. Like, do we know what the not in singular instances? I'm talking about overall. Like, when we look at how frame generation is applied by NVIDIA versus AMD at this moment, who's outperforming who?
Well, I don't know. Can't tell you that.
I mean, I
all
would
I'm
have to
saying
see.
is frame generation is not exclusive to Nvidia.
No, I know. Yeah, I know there's FSR3. I'm just saying, I'm not sure in bringing what FSR3. I don't think that FSR3 right now can be compared. I don't think anything AMD can be game wise can be compared to NVIDIA. I'm sorry.
And consoles can actually use FSR 3.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, but what again, I'm trying to, okay, all right. So let's be specific here. We're talking about PC gaming, right? And we're talking about FSR 3 versus frame generation right now on PC gaming. Are they is FSR 3 a viable competitor to PC game in the PC gaming space?
I would say so, yeah.
Right now, I don't know. Like, did Starfield have FSR 3 at launch? Didn't it have it at launch?
No.
What did it have at launch?
Nothing.
And when did it get FSR 3?
I don't know, but they got it about the same time as the frame generation. Yeah.
That's what I thought. So you're saying that FSR 3 for you work better than frame generation on Starfield?
It's both frame generation, brother. It's just different techniques.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying when you use FSR 3, when you select FSR 3 versus DLSS. Or
Well,
not,
I could test it. Oh,
would you say?
I could test that out.
Oh, okay. Because I remember having a mod personally. We did this, and Geek, I think you were there. We did this when those mods first came out. Because I thought that FSR3 was there at launch, but no. Okay. But, okay, I remember having both of those mods, and when I used the DLSS, or when I used the DLSS 3 mod, that's when I was able to get like 70, 80 frames. I was only able to do it at 1440p high. I couldn't do it at 4K, but I was able to get 7. Well, I couldn't get that with FSR3.
But that was not frame generation, I think. I think that was just an upscaler. The mod that you mean.
I mean, people were saying that they finally added frame generation when I got it. It was like what? Three was it? If it was like in the 3 to 4 week time frame after the game launch, right? Or no? Yeah, Starfield. Chris says Starfield got FSR before DLSS. There was rumors of an AMD payoff to get DLSS out of the game at launch. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know there was rumors of a payoff. I don't know. They partnered.
Yeah, they had a partnership. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they. I don't know if you could call it a payoff, but maybe you can. Yeah, they.
Money head.
AMD is better than Intel. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with you there. Yeah, FSR needs more work. I mean, I could have sworn that I have a direct example between the two. And I think, I'm not talking about that original mod that came out. There was a couple of other mods that came out like almost a month. If I'm right, it came out like almost a month later. In where, I tried both the FSR, the DLSS 3, and the DLSS 3 was significantly better.
Why does GeForce Now Ultimate use AMD CPU? What's that about, Moss?
I don't know.
Why aren't they using Intel?
I don't know.
There's some collusion going.
It could be because of the fact that AMD, I think at the time, had server grade processors that were better for what they were trying to do. So, I mean, if you take that into consideration, along with the fact that regardless of what type of hardware that you have, you can get the benefits of frame generation technology. You can't beat that with a stick. I mean, I get that, not from a console side. I don't think that's relevant. From a PC side, even if you can patch it in, you just get those benefits natively. Where with the NVIDIA GeForce Now, you can get it through the cloud. The fact that they are running. What'd you say?
I just read up on it. FSR3 frame generation can give you more frames, but the DLSS free frame generation can give you less latency.
I'd have.
Well, it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off, really. one is just pulling as much fucking frames as possible, while the other one tries to make it more smoother of an experience.
Yeah, I would have to. I mean, I'd have to see that, and then I'd have to see the balance. And okay, if it does give you more frames, like you said, what is the trade-off? I experience more frames.
More system latency. Then we go to fucking reflex at that point.
So yeah. Oh damn, it's 4:06 already. Okay, so yeah, I'm in total agreement. Like I said, I'm not the hugest fan of Digital Foundry, but I do agree that if you're going to sit there and show these games on PC at a time to where you're trying to make it seem like that you are totally in tune with your console gamers, then we got a problem. You need to show your console gamers what they're actually getting. And look, there's been so many lies that they've exonerated them on, but they've excused them on. It's only 4 games. I mean, we could just name lie after lie. We can name a lie like every month, literally, for like the last 13 years. We can name a lie. And they've exonerated them on it. I think you sitting there having this conversation with your gamers about what your direction is, that's not going to hurt you any further than where you're already hurt. You can't go any lower. You're at the bottom of the well. I think it's a problem to, I mean, I definitely see the benefits of, if you are taking an NVIDIA GeForce Now approach, whether you partner through them or you get your own technology up to par and you can deliver the same output. I can see from a high-end level where you take care of those people that have sustainable internet. You don't need fantastic, you just need sustainable internet. But for those people that don't have sustainable internet, they are bottlenecked more than ever. They have to get either more expensive hardware or less competent hardware. So I don't know. But I think, you can't get any worse than this. You really can't. And not being transparent and then having a lack of quality is what's hurting Xbox right now. Those are 2 things that they have to transform ASAP so they can get in a better light.
But why, if they don't give a fuck about Xbox?
Well, they better care about the consumers. I mean, they want the consumers to land somewhere.
Did you see King Fresh video completely?
No, I didn't check it all. But which part are you talking about?
Did you catch the part with the PC Game Pass? That is the best thing for gamers.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they want to completely abandon those console gamers. They want those console gamers to go and just deal with the stream box. That's their answer for the console gamers, which, okay, is fine. But everybody doesn't have the ability to utilize the stream box. That's where they're messing up. And what I think they're thinking is, from the people that we lose on this stream box, we're going to gain more of them on PC. And whoa. Oh, shoot. Hold on. A bird just flew in my house and my cat is going to mess this thing up. All right, let me get out of here. I got to get out of here. Yeah. I don't know what window is that. Hold on 1 second. You know what, guys? We got to end this right now because I got to get this bird out of here because my cat is going to destroy this thing. So, yeah, we're over time anyway. But we'll talk about this, guys. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.